So when I was in the 4th grade, we got told to read this book, The Giver by Lois Lowry. And I didn't really pay much attention to it because I was a 4th grader and I didn't give a shit about school back then, so I never really understood it too much. But then somebody mentioned it in tree planting, and then 2 weeks later when I was in the real world, I saw it in a store. And I was like, man, that must be a sign of some sort. I should buy it and read it, see what it was like. And it ended up being such an amazing book for me, and it was so funny that I picked it up and I read it in this time of my life with this whole diabetes thing happening to me. Because I started to connect a lot with the main character, Jonas, who's this kid that lives in a village where everything is the same. So there's no temperatures, there's no colors, people don't suffer, people don't feel love. Everything is the same, and it's been that way for a while. So every kid in this village gets given an assignment when they turn 12. And when Jonas turned 12, there was a lot of mystery surrounding which assignment he was going to be given. And the elder gives this huge speech and says, Jonas, you're going to be given the most honorable and praised job in the entire village, because you're going to have a lot of suffering and you're going to suffer through a lot of pain with this job. And Jonas is like, what's going on? And he gets given the job of the receiver of memories. And so the giver, the title of the book, which is this old guy, would touch Jonah on the back, and he would receive all the memories of what the world was like before everything was the same and black and white and no temperatures. So he receives all these insane memories of, war and dead people everywhere and what it feels like to be lonely, things he's never experienced before. And he's suffering a lot, obviously, because he's going through all of this and he's used to a very banal kind of a life. But because he was exposed to this suffering, he was also exposed to the other spectrum of feelings, which was love, which was being able to see in color, being able to go out into the snow and experience what cold feels like, what hot feels like. He goes out into this beautiful ocean and goes on a sailboat ride. So that's the key part of the book that interests me the most, because this whole suffering thing is the key to everything. Without suffering, life has no meaning. Jonas was receiving these memories, and when he started receiving these memories, everything opened up in his life. These other people in the village that never got to experience these memories, their lives really have no meaning, because being able to sense the colors in a sunset and feeling loved are all things that give meaning to our lives. There was a point where there was no meaning in our lives, and that was before we were born. And it's going to be the same way when we die. So right now we're in between those two places in our lives where everything has so much meaning. And within that life, we can create even more meaning by introducing the elements of pain and suffering and hard work. Because I can choose to stay in my room and be safe and comfortable and take no risks and have a very balanced out and average life, but there wouldn't be much meaning in my life, really. Or I can choose instead to go out there and fail miserably at something. And I know that something amazing is going to happen right after. It has to, because that's the way it works.